Does recording synths through fancy preamps make any difference? Or is it all just a big waste of time? I'm David from MK Dub, and we're going to answer this question after the open. Synthesizers are line-level instruments, which means that we can plug direct into any preamp line input, including the ones on your interface, and just hit record. The same way a premium synth usually sounds classier than a cheaper synth, high-quality preamps sound classier than cheap ones. Or do they? Is it all just snake oil? It's a question I've been asking for years. Honestly, I'm not sure that I always hear the difference. But I don't assume that if I can't hear it, means that it doesn't exist. That's like a little kid. I can't see you, you can't see me. Now, the obvious example is when I'm singing and I think I'm on key, and I'm just like, I'm really into it. I'll look over and my wife's face kind of tells me that, no. So my philosophy has always been to buy the best quality gear that I can afford so I don't have to worry about whether or not it's my gear that's holding me back. So I do the standard practice, I throw up a mix reference, and then when I'm mixing, I compare my kind of mix down track to what the mix reference sounds like. And when I was buying cheaper gear, it was hard for me to tell how much of the problem was the gear versus how much of the problem was me. When I'm messing with Avedis, and I'm messing with Electrodynes, and I'm messing with the Cranborne audio conversion, I know that any problems are solely due to user error. Now, don't get me wrong, there's no substitute for skill and putting in the hours to get better. But the gear is part of the journey. I've been working on finishing this track from January, and for the test, I'm going to run the 4 buses through each of these pair of preamps, and afterward, I'll combine them into preamp-specific mixes just to see what those preamps are doing to the track. Here's the gear I'm using. A pair of AEA RPQ 500s, the Avedis MD7s, the Electrodyne 501 preamps, and the Empress ECM 519. Now, the ECMs are actually compressors, but they have enough gain for synths that need just a little bit of boost, kind of like my Moog Matriarch is kind of a little bit low on volume. And the ECMs also have cinematic transformers, so heck, why not? Just throw them in the test tube. And it's going to be a high-stakes test because I only have 8 slots in my 500R8, and the 511 EQs are not going to go anywhere, so 2 of these modules, whichever one loses out, are probably going to get sold. I have this Audient ASP800, and the Audient has a reputation for being a nice, neutral, clean preamp, so I'm using that as kind of my control set. We're going to be recording through the 500R8, so any kind of analog to digital conversion is the same across the board, and the only differences we'll be hearing will be the preamps. Now, before we get to the results, YouTube compression can alter the sound a little bit. So if you want to hear the unadulterated tracks, check the link in the description, download the files, pull them into your DAW, and bring them up on your studio monitors. Now with that, here are the results. Is it worth the time? Is it worth the effort? I enjoy the recording part of the process, right? I enjoy messing with preamps and EQs and trying to see what kind of saturated tones I can get. That part for me, it's just fun. It's just fun for me to do that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you hear a difference? Was it a big difference? Was it worth all this hassle to kind of get that little tiny percent difference? Everyone hears music differently, and that's okay. Now, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, remember, the music we make is more powerful than the music we consume. So keep on jamming.